So moving right along to the Big 12 Championship game played in Jerry's World. I've actually got the helmets behind me. Pistol Pete shining up there bright as the number 5 Oklahoma State Cowboys take on the Baylor Bears. This is a Saturday kickoff at 12 p.m. on ABC. Oklahoma State has had an impressive year. And so has Baylor, by the way, under Dave Aranda. Oklahoma State currently favored by 5.5 points. Who would have ever thought that we would have a defensive Big 12 championship game? I'm taking the under on this one, just so you know right off the bat. Who wins this defensive shootout? Who wins this defensive shootout, D?
And defensive shootout, defensive lockout. Who knows what we'll call it? But like you said, man, defense. These two teams, like you said, have really good defenses. I think Oklahoma State's defense is shockingly, just as good, probably better than Baylor's defense this year. So, the big question for me, clearly, we're trying to figure out Jerry Bohannon's health and, will the Baylor quarterback play? My big thing for this game is if Spencer Sanders can come out and play mistake-free football and give, Oklahoma State a very good game like he's been given for the past few games, I think that Oklahoma State will win. So I'm picking Oklahoma State. I think Spencer Sanders will come out and play well. I think he'll be able to use his legs. I think Dave Aranda, the Baylor head coach, will have a great game plan for Oklahoma State this time around. But I think Spencer Sanders gets it done, and I think that Oklahoma State defense wins the lockout or shootout.
Yeah, the Cowboys are currently given a 63.7% chance to win, according to ESPN.com. Oklahoma State already beat Baylor this year, by the way, 24-14. They had their way. Close game, but they had their way in the end. But like you mentioned, Jerry Bohannon, however you pronounce it, quarterback of the Baylor Bears, he suffered a hamstring injury, I believe, last week or the week before. He's been struggling, banged up. So, a lot of the media will say, well, the backup quarterback shouldn't have a problem. Schematically, they run the same offense. But, this is a different animal. You're talking about the Big 12 Championship game in Jerry's World at AT&T Stadium. And you wonder, how composed will he be? This is going to be a very hostile environment for the Baylor Bears. Not only, a lot of people, because it's neutral siting, think that it's not going to be, but it's, like I mentioned, it's a tough task for them. I think it's going to really rely on the run game. Who wins the run game? Is it going to be Arian Smith, running back of the Baylor Bears, or is it going to be Jaron Warren of the Oklahoma State Cowboys, who can consistently come up with long drives? I'm talking 5 to 7 minute drives. Possession of the ball is going to be key in this game, but I think in the end, the Oklahoma State Cowboys come out victorious and they win the Big 12 Championship game. Wow, what a win that would be. And if they win, it's going to be really hard to keep them out of that playoff spot in that top 4 because someone's going to lose this weekend. That's a wrap for today. I know you think the season is over, but guess what? We're just getting started. When we come back next week, we'll discuss playoff predictions, bowl predictions, and we have a special game next week, the only game of the week, Army versus Navy on CBS. We'll be predicting that game as well. So get ready. College football is still here, and it's here to stay. As always,